Good morning. My name is Timothy Fletcher Velasco, and I'm working with Barrington on our study of information retention using virtual escape rooms to reduce medication errors. We wanted to do this study to see if using alternative methods of learning to increase education, particularly in reducing medication errors. We decided to use a virtual escape room due to the current situation with the COVID-19. We weren't able to do this physically or in person, so we opted to do the virtual escape room in lieu of that. We first conducted a literature review to see what information was out there in correlation with escape rooms. Since the research is fairly new and this platform is fairly new, we only found 11 articles that pertain to using virtual escape rooms or escape rooms physically to enhance nursing education. Of those 11 articles, we did not find any quantitative results that we were looking for. All the articles were subjective or qualitative, asking how the participants felt, if they felt better or more equipped in the medical education. I wanted to know more about the actual quantitative data if performing old PowerPoint education versus using virtual escape rooms would enhance learning and retention of that information. So what we did in the schools of nursing at PLU, we had two cohorts, the BSN and the SSMN cohorts. Out of those cohorts of the 350 students, 32 participants were able to be studied. We had them split in half using a random number generator. The first group is our control, using just the PowerPoint information and then taking a quiz to see their retention of that information. We waited a period of 5 days and then had them take the quiz again to see if they were getting better or worse with that information. Our second group was the intervention group. That group had not only the PowerPoint, but the additional resources of the virtual escape room we created online. They took those escape rooms, took the quiz, and then took it again 5 days later to see if the escape room was beneficial. The results showed that it actually did improve the retention and education of the students. For those that were in the control group, they first had a score of 52%, while the virtual escape room group had 51% of the questions answered on the first quiz. After the PowerPoint education study, the first group, the PowerPoint group, had a score of 79%, while the virtual escape room group had an increase of 96% after using the escape room to enhance their learning. So you could see right there between 79 to 96%, taking the virtual escape room does benefit students to help adhere to the education. Some of the limitations of our experiment were the small sample size. According to Qualtrics.com, in order to have a 95% confidence with a 5% margin of error, I should have collected data from at least 184 students. Due to coronavirus, social distancing, and we were not able to gather as much participation as we would have liked, only getting the 32. So in conclusion, I would like to point out that it's so far with the little data that we do have that using a virtual escape room versus just using PowerPoint or lectures or just reading material, having this additional resource of a virtual escape room does benefit students to help adhere to medication errors, education, any other type of nursing education. And I would hope to see this being used in the future.